Well, good morning, everybody. It is the sixth and final day of the 2020-2500-2500 road trip. We soldiered on through the night last night and had some Lou Malnati's pizza just west of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And then soldiered on into a little Holiday Inn just north of Milwaukee with a lovely riverfront view. And today we finally are going to be getting home. We're about to head south through Milwaukee, through Chicago, and then onward back to Columbus. Unfortunately, we have already lost Daniel. He is on his way back home to northwestern Arkansas, finishing off his what essentially became a 4,500-mile road trip for him. Daniel, thank you very much for coming along, sir. You were most enjoyable. You're definitely welcome on another one in the future. But time for us to get ready, get on the road, and do these last little bits of miles. We just crested over 2,000 miles last night, so this total trip should end up at about 2,600 miles. So I'm going to get finished packing up the rest of my room here and head outside, and we'll go from there. Keep watching. So today we are going to be leaving here momentarily and heading down the waterfront, essentially as far as we can. So we can show these boys some downtown Chicago and make our way home. Should be back in the Columbus area around 7, 8 o'clock. We lose 1 hour on the way east. So time to hit the road. Follow along. Well, we've made it about 30 miles down the road. First stop of the day is the Mars Cheese Castle. It's a Wisconsin thing.
Dude, Rami, look at this. I'm gonna get something for Rami right now, my friend. Ram. Prepare yourself.
That's fantastic. Chicago! Absolutely beautiful day for a drive in downtown Chicago. Running down Lakeshore Drive. Got the lake there. Got the downtown right there. More downtown over there. Absolutely gorgeous day for a drive. 70 degrees in October in Chicago. So this is our last major city blast, which is a little sad, but still pretty awesome. Absolutely awesome day to drive through Chicago on Shoreline Drive. Absolutely awesome day. Couldn't ask for more. What a trip. Ugh. Okay, so next stop I think is going to be fuel and a Culver's lunch stop. And then we're done with all the really pretty stuff. Chicago, you never disappoint. Absolutely gorgeous skylines, and traffic actually was really, really not bad, especially by Chicago standards. Really, really not bad. Such a fun drive.
So much trash.
Indiana. As you can see, we are back in flat farmland of northern Indiana, Ohio, Illinois, blah, blah, blah. All of those farming towns and farming areas that are flat. All of the beautiful topography is pretty much gone at this point in time. So we are in northern Indiana at the moment. We are on Route 30 headed towards Columbus. For all intents and purposes, we're going to end up real dang close at 2,500 miles. So that all worked out really, really well. This trip has gone a lot smoother this year than last year. We didn't end up losing a lot of time along the way that we did last year from complications. So this has been a considerably less stressful experience. Really, there's been almost nothing that's really cost us time and miles. So it's been a great experience. It's been another great experience. I'm really proud of all the guys. I'm really glad they all came along with us on this one. It was kind of a plan B plan. You know, we initially wanted to do the Florida Keys trip, and that would have been awesome. But doing the Keys I think we would have missed out on a lot of what we've gotten to see on this. For a plan B, this has worked out spectacularly. The views we've gotten to see, and the fact that none of us have really done any of this before, really makes up for it. And the weather was just absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. To the point where I wish I wasn't wearing warm weather clothes, because it's currently 75 degrees outside. So we're going to put a couple more miles on, and we're going to actually split up the group here in a little bit. Because Phil and I are going to continue back on to Columbus, and Ethan, Gavin, and Tim are going to head on home to their place. So we'll pull off up here in a little bit when we get ready to split ourselves apart and do a little wrap up, get some commentary from everybody, and then maybe talk about plans for the next one. So we'll continue on through the farmlands. Welcome back to Ohio. Woo! Look, fields, wind energy. Very few trees. Oh look, more fields. Well, folks, we're on the side of the road, but not because something broke down. Because this is essentially where we're going to all kind of split up and finish our own little journeys of the 2500 road trip. All of the cars have made it. We've got both the J30 and the Mercedes from the Neelys We've got the Volvo down there. We've got the Crown Vic down there. We've got the Vibe down there. Everybody made it. There's been some check engine lights, but there's been no failures along the way. No failures at all. No catastrophic problems. We had some booking issues with figuring out we were going to stay.
Those were non-issues.
I mean, but
Part of the fun.
all in all, yes.
The only mistake was not eating at the Roadhouse. We would have eaten at that Roadhouse when I was like, ooh, this Roadhouse looks lit.
Yes.
It was lit.
No, there were two mistakes. Osaka was a mistake because we could have eaten at an amazing place called Steakhouse.
Oh, what a mess. Steakhouse looked like almost as much of a party as that other place.
So
we did end up going back to and getting past these. It's just everyone was gone.
Right. So we are going to wrap it up here. Is there a winner of this trip? I don't know. I can argue this a lot of different directions. I think, Ethan, you ended up somehow with the most amazing ride by far of any of us.
There was the one day at the tip of UP when we were about to cross into Wisconsin that was really cold. But besides that, I think, even today's last drive, just going down Lakeshore Drive on Chicago, I mean, it was just amazing. I don't have much to complain about. I'm getting 25 miles to get on right now, so I was a little bit scared. It dropped significantly, but I think it was just because we were rocking 90 most of the time.
Yeah.
Besides that,
we weren't doing 90.
We're in Mexico.
I think best car overall, the SL. Best value, the police car. Most comedy, the police car. I mean, that stop last night was next level.
I mean,
I think the true spirit of being as cheap as possible and surviving 2500s, 100 miles, I think goes to the police car.
I agree.
But I think out of the most fun that we personally might have had, I don't think anyone can really beat Ethan.
Dude, 2,300 miles with the top down in mid-October in beautiful fall.
Because what's going to happen is next week it's going to be like cold and snowy.
Right.
And he just got in there to enjoy it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I gotta say the Mercedes was amazing. Like, there's no way that you could have planned it better for this. And the fact that you're like his entire wardrobe this week.
I could be hoodie off right now, but
this has been his whole wardrobe the whole week. The Infinity.
Surprise.
Way more comfortably surprised with that car than I thought I would be. It is a dad wagon.
Handling awesome. Joy factor low. Yeah, I don't know. Everyone, there's no real most broken. The most potential for broken was the molten lava moment.
Yes.
The molten lava, I thought, we're cutting the cat off this car. But whatever you backed off and then didn't melt the cat all the way, it's been fine.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, and there's not a lot of footage of this, but the Infinity, like this thing has a lot of wheel gap. Let me take you over here to this. This thing has 1990s wheel gap, okay? Like, let's talk about wheel gap, okay? This is wheel gap. But seeing Tim pilot this thing around corners and flick it around corners that you would not think an old 90s that could do, absolutely awesome. I'm more than a little impressed with that Infinity. The Pontiac Vibe, by far, is the one thing that nobody would have imagined anybody building. And especially if you looked at what that car was when we dug it out of a yard a couple of months ago, and the brakes were shot, the wheels were disgusting, like the whole car was beat. It was terrible. You had some issues with some rough roads. The coilovers beat you guys up a little bit, but you adjusted them up in, where we were, all the way up in the top of Minnesota.
Yeah, the final move, take the dampers all the way down to nil, nothing.
Yeah.
Really kind of smoothed out everything for the rest of the trip, and it's been great ever since. So really no problems at all whatsoever. And like I said, if we didn't have the exhaust leak and possibly a plugged cat, the car would have been awesome. I would have been ripping all over the place, but didn't really want to burn the car down, so the 8,000 RPM freeway pulls kind of needed to stop after that. So, but other than that,
for the fact that it's a 200,000 mile plus car,
Yeah.
We know zero about its life before you got a hold of it. It did fantastic.
I only can assume that, and I didn't look up the Carfax, that the car had to been probably only a couple of owner car at most. And judging by the stickers on the back, probably maybe an elderly hippie cat lady, just based off the stickers. And if that's the case, she probably treated it really well because that engine is very strong and pulls great.
Yeah. I think everybody has said that they're jealous of the headlights on that car.
Yes.
Everybody loves the fog lights and the headlights on it because it's hilariously amazing. It's super fast and furious.
$40 Amazon LED bulbs, can't go wrong.
Your light bars were hilarious for a number of reasons, but B, extremely useful when we were up in the North Woods.
I think putting the light bars on, knowing that we were going to need light, I think was a very good decision.
Hugely, amazingly good.
I think we would have hit several animals. I did hit one. I'm not even gonna lie. It called him Fat Tony is what I named him.
Rest in peace, Fat Tony.
Yeah, rest in peace, Fat Tony. But I think I am more than happy with the Crown Vic. What I'm gonna do with it, I have no idea. Am I just gonna sell it? Am I gonna keep it? Am I gonna do something stupid like build the motor and put a turbo kit? Wait and see. You might see an episode about it. But I am more than happy with $380 and some tires.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. For sure. And for the comedy factor of a fully cop-prepped Crown Vic running down the road with a light bar on the top of it, the amount of poor people, including ourselves, to be honest, who had heart problems when this kid pulled the little cop's slow rollout move on you, and you immediately thought there was a police officer behind you.
There were several times that they were behind me, and some guy came flying up in the left lane, and I would slide over in front of a semi, and all you would see was the nose dip down and immediately lose 20 miles per hour. It is, it's a great thing, and I will say that if anyone gets the chance to buy a police car, I recommend doing it just for giggles.
Yes.
And to be honest, I think if you were to buy one straight from an auction off the retirement from the police force, it would probably be one of the best running vehicles you would ever have.
And we did learn that yours maybe had a little bit of rough treatment right before you got it.
Yes, I will say that probably I think mine retired at like 120 and I bought it at 186. Those miles between them were not friendly or well taken care of miles.
We probably knocked a pound worth of dirt and rocks out of the back bumper, not including the pound or two that you dropped on the road on the way to where we that off.
It was definitely not well taken care of before I got it, but like I said, it's a great car. Couldn't have been happier.
It did fantastic, and it kept on chirping that belt the whole way. Didn't care.
Actually, the belt stopped a little bit, so surprisingly. But transmission held in, no major issues. So I'm gonna head here. I'm just gonna set the cruise and keep on going. Finish out our trip.
All right, so the last car to talk about is the Volvo, the 940 Volvo wagon. First off, it can't win the best car of the road trip because it was already on the last road trip, and that's kind of cheating. I daily driver that car. I know it's gonna be fine. I've put almost 30,000 miles on this $2,500 car since I bought it, and it basically doesn't ever have problems. That's one of the reasons I bought this car. Is this generation of Volvos literally are just bone simple, reliable, cheap, easy vehicles to use. They're cheap, easy vehicles to run anywhere. They just don't have problems. Is it the best looking car? No. Is it the fastest car? Definitely no. Is it, without any kind of question, a reliable, easy road trip car? Yeah, it's super comfortable. I slept in the back of the thing. I've got snacks. I've got food. I can change in it comfortably. It's a great road trip car. Great road trip car. It's not very exciting. But maybe that's a good thing. Maybe excitement isn't something we really want on a road trip because there's no drama with it. There's no, is the Volvo going to break down? No, the answer is no, it's not going to break down. So this will basically be the end of our road trip together. This is our 6th day. We're going to basically end up at 2,500 miles almost on the dot between everybody going home to their respective places. And that's going to be it. We left Columbus, Ohio on Thursday. We've driven through an incredible range of locations from Detroit through the Tunnel of Trees, up into the UP of Michigan, all the way across the UP, up to the Whitefish Point, all the way across the UP, Great Woods area. Stayed at an amazing little cabin set up right on the waterfront. Sat out by the fire and had a couple of drinks and watched the stars and honestly some falling stars. Amazing time. Drove all the way across, up through Duluth, gorgeous city. Would love to have spent some time there. All the way up, or well, halfway up the coast of Minnesota, cut it back across, came most of the length of Minnesota all the way down into Minneapolis. Got to see some really cool stuff in Minneapolis. Also an absolutely gorgeous city. Would love to go back there and spend some time. From Minneapolis, we went to the Dells. The Wisconsin Dells are absolutely gorgeous. So much to do there. Unfortunately, we only had a few hours to do it. I nearly lost some very expensive shoes I just purchased. But we saw Devil's Lake, which was absolutely stunning. And then Milwaukee last night, this morning, Chicago, Gary, Indiana, farmland, and more farmland, all over the place. The trip is an amazing experience, and we've been talking about it on our walkie-talkies, and we'll discuss this in maybe a wrap-up episode to be filmed after this. This kind of a thing is not necessarily about the destination. It's about the journey. More often than not, a lot of people are on their way from one location to another location, and all they're thinking about is the locations. All they're thinking about is, what's the fastest way to get from here to there so I can get where I need to be? And, you know, that's one way to do things, but you miss a lot along the way. One of these things that's nice about this road trip is it gives you an opportunity to see all kinds of things that you wouldn't have normally seen on a different kind of pace than most people would ever do. So I'm sure we're going to do another one of these. We've already discussed some details about what will happen next, probably in the spring. So stay tuned for that. If you've watched all of this, we appreciate you guys watching and your patience through all this. Thank you very much for coming along on the ride with us. There will be more adventures to come with who knows what kind of vehicles. As always, click on the subscribe button so you can stay tuned on road trips, builds, racing, everything we do. Drop us a comment if you're interested in what we do and interested in the road trip. If you want to see something else that we've done, or you want to give us some suggestions as to where we should go next on our next 2500, drop it in the comments. As always, do click on that like button as well. Lets YouTube know you actually pay attention to what we're doing. I'm gonna head home, get a shower, play with my puppy dog, and then do absolutely nothing for the next day. We'll see you next time. Take care.